Guys, welcome to another installment of Run It Back this week. I promise you it's going to get better. We're going through we're talking about this week Thor, The Dark World, everybody's favorite.
Oh God.
It's one of your top 4 Thor movies though, isn't it, Sonny?
Yeah, it's gotta be. It's gotta be one of my top 4
by default, right? I mean, it's one of the top 4,
I guess,
of your Thor films. Yeah.
Okay.
Never. Marcus, what did you think about Thor: The Dark World?
So I'm probably going to be the most positive one of this because I know everyone pretty much not really received it well. For me, looking at it more strengths based, it was more of an expansion on the whole relationship between Thor and Jane Foster. Mm-hmm. So I did appreciate that. So you have Thor. Okay, so you have Thor and Jane Foster. It's relationships. So Thor and James Foster. What's happening right now?
Sonny said he's trying to explain himself.
Yeah. All right. So we got the Thor and Jane Foster relationship. So we're expanding. So basically, I looked at this movie as more of like an expansion of his world because we only had one movie prior to this for Thor. So expanding. So we got the relationship between him and Jane Foster. We get introduced to Frigga. I love Renee Russo in general. So we get Frigga, his mom. We see more, the stakes are higher with Loki as well. He's more mischievous in this one. Mm-hmm. We have the Odin sleep aspect of it as well, which is explained maybe a little bit better in the comics, I think. But basically, Odin has to go to sleep in order to keep his immortality going. He has to fall into a deep sleep and can't be disturbed, and so we get that as well. I honestly don't think, other than those 3 major elements, more Loki, we get more Jane Foster, more Frigga. That's pretty much the sum of it. Because Malekith, I don't think was that compelling of a villain.
I would venture to say he was terrible.
He's kind of forgettable.
Yeah,
he was not that good.
In a way, it feels like, and you kind of get that with the movie. You kind of feel like they didn't intend on him to be a more enduring character like Thanos or like any of the.
Well, that was the problem with a lot of the first and second phase villains. They were like, this guy's in the movie, he won't matter in 2 hours.
Yeah, right. So those are, I would say, those are the 3 best aspects of it. You know, seeing Asgard, and Heimdall and all the stuff going on with the assassination attempt, all that kind of stuff was pretty compelling. But other than that, yeah, if you were looking for something that was more, enduring in terms of furthering the overall plot of the universe of the MCU as we knew it.
I'm just excited for what Sonny's gonna say.
He looks like keep going. Yeah, no, keep going. Yeah.
At least we got dark elves at least in this movie. That was probably the best.
We did.
I mean, they expanded the lore a little bit. We got pre-Korg. Yeah. What are the Korgs called? The rock people called?
Rocks.
The Korgs.
the Korg people.
Rocks.
All right, I rest my case.
Look it up.
I can't.
It's a good case. You made a good case.
I don't think you believe that he made a good case.
I don't. I hated that movie so much, man.
Now that he's rested his, can you wake yours up? Wake your case up?
I thought that
wake your case up.
That movie sucked. I don't know. We talked about the chick flick kind of aspect of what I think the Thor movies kind of have, and
right.
I get it. He's a big muscle man and he's supposed to save the day, but I just think it just wasn't a good movie. I think the CG was amazing, and I think it was really cool to have the different aspects of these other characters, but I don't know, 1 out of 10, I'm giving it a 4. I don't know. I did the rewatch, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't finish it. I
didn't either.
Turned it off.
I didn't attempt to rewatch it.
So you're just going off of what you had last time?
I've seen it enough times.
What, once?
No, I've seen it more than that.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
I thought the movie was terrible, man. I think it's probably, no, it's not worse than Eternals.
No.
Started a conversation.
I don't think it's no. I think
It's not worse than Eternals, right?
No, I think
It depends on what you.
You know,
what
I think if you went back to our Eternals episode, I definitively said that the Eternals was at least better than Dark World, so I'm going to stand by that. I think the Eternals is better than this movie.
All right, since
it was definitely Eternals was definitely more ambitious. I think.
I love doing the 1 out of 10, even when we get out of movies. So like, okay, around the room, 1 out of 10. What do you give me
For Thor: The Dark World?
Yeah.
I think Thor: The Dark World is a testament.
You can't say it twice and it gets an extra point.
right. I think it was Thor: The Dark World.
I think it is a testament to how good the MCU is because it is bad relative compared to another bad movie.
Yeah,
it is not as bad.
Yes.
Compared to the other Marvel
low point
movies.
MCU.
Exactly.
Okay, so 1 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10, which I think says a lot about. And I think that is
Donovan said fair. You giving it a 6 too, buddy?
I think that is purely on the back of the characters. I think Thor is interesting. I think
Why?
Because
Chris Hemsworth has a giant buff back and he's carrying the whole.
You know, that's why I like it because he has a buff back. No, I think Loki's interesting. I think that the Dark Elves start out interesting and they kind of fall by the wayside.
Yes.
I think watching the characters interact is the strong point of this movie. I think the ether is important. It's the reality stone. We get to see how that's introduced. And the biggest crime this movie commits is it is boring and forgettable.
Boring.
The final fight scene is there's nothing in this movie that makes me go, that was stupid. What a dumb storytelling element. It's boring.
Yeah,
the final fight scene is boring.
Yeah,
it has no stakes. And also it kind of has reached a point in the MCU where the universe was going to end. Right. Why were the other Avengers not involved?
Yeah.
Why were they not called upon to be there or whatever?
Right. You're busy, bro.
The last fight scene with all the portals opening and stuff flying through, and it was bad. It was very bad.
And you're still giving it a hot 6?
I think Loki killing, like pretending to die and taking over the throne. I think that stuff is interesting. I think this movie did have it mattered. It had repercussions on the rest of the MCU.
Correct,
I think it has that going for it. But other than that, it was boring, and that is why. Because, like I said, I don't think it's
boring,
and I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's a movie that doesn't make sense if you think about it. I don't think the performances are bad. It's just boring.
Definitely
There's not
had
much
some,
going on.
yeah, definitely has some dry elements, and I would echo the solid 6. But basically, my 6 is based on what I was saying, like the introductions of those characters and kind of it being the sequel, the true sequel, in that you are expanding
This is
his
the
world
one
a little bit
where
more.
his mom dies, right?
Yes.
I didn't finish the movie.
And I think moments like that work.
He doesn't remember ever watching it.
Oh my gosh.
And it,
I don't know. I never watched it.
It adds to Thor's character and what he has to deal with and what he's going through.
Yes.
That's cute.
And it builds that character up. You're asking me why I gave it a 6. I'm telling you why I gave it a 6.
All right.
But it's not good. It's the worst MCU
Like a
movie.
5,
Yeah.
4 or 5.
Shane, what you got?
Yeah, I gave it a 4.5, I think.
Okay.
Wow. Where's the half come from?
I don't know.
Chris
I give
Hemsworth's
it a
physique.
4.5, half.
I gave it a 4.5 because the tagline was courage is immortal. I think was the tagline to the movie. I was like,
courage is immortal. That's why I gave it a 0.5.
that's a pretty dope tagline for this movie. One of the better taglines I've seen on some of these posters. So I want to give it a point.
Do you think Natalie
But-
Portman had to be convinced to come back? I mean, did they have to throw a lot of money at her?
Yes,
Absolutely. Not necessarily for this one. I'm saying when she came back later on.
Yeah,
Well, I think it was more
I
about the
think so.
role she was going to play than it was. I think money obviously did play a factor.
Sure.
But I think it was about the role she was going to play. She didn't want to just be damsel in distress
This
again.
movie didn't do bad, like box
No,
office
it
wise.
made
It was
numbers-wise,
140
no.
million. I think it made like 630 million.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm saying
they
like,
all make money.
when you talk about
all
boring,
make
Yeah.
it would you talk about boring for this movie. Like Paul hit it on they had to make Ragnarok. That was the next
Right.
movie. That's how
Yeah.
boring this one was.
Yeah, they had to
where
like shut it down.
they had to we're going way over the top. We're knocking this one. Yeah, we're going to have comedy. We're going to have dancing.
Yes, colors.
Yeah.
Colors. We're having a whole.
You know what the best scene in this whole movie is?
The credits.
Is when the Dark Elves' assault on Asgard. I think that scene is good.
That's the best part.
They crash the thing through all the pillars and they attack and they
That
run
must have
through.
happened at the end. I don't remember that one.
Yeah, well, you said you started.
That should have been the
I actually
tagline.
don't believe that he started watching it because that happens like 20 minutes into the
Yeah, I was
movie.
gonna say
I don't believe him
because
now.
even Heimdall's like,
Didn't watch
what's
it.
going on? Yeah.
Why did you lie to us?
I could have got away with it until anybody called me out. You know?
Yeah, well, I did. But
God.
That should have been the
scene is
tagline.
good. The rest is not very good.
That should have been a tagline. I didn't watch
I
it.
didn't watch it.
The way that they find the ether is kind of like okay, like it makes sense, but it's like whoa, how did nobody else find this earlier? I know I said the story makes sense, and it does, but that part is just kind of like
You gave it a 6? Like a 6.
Yeah. So for me, what I did was
All these things you mentioned.
I-
I'm like, what?
there are far worse movies. There
Yes.
are
Yes.
far worse.
Still, this one does not deserve a 6.
Well, I'm giving it a 6.
You know what? This movie would have worked really well as like an early '90s action movie if we hadn't gotten a lot of other superhero stuff yet.
If this movie came out in 1995, we'd be talking about how much.
Oh
we
my
loved it.
God, it would be a game-changing movie.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it did not.
It did not.
But that's what I mean. There's movies that no matter when they came out, they'd be terrible.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah. Yeah. Vanilla Sky. Oh man.
Yeah, it's true.
Vanilla Sky.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, Tom Cruise. You
Tom
should know.
Cruise.
Yeah, you should avoid it. Yeah.
Should avoid it.
Yeah, you should avoid it. I can't stand that movie. That was the only movie that I walked out and actually
But okay.
literally asked for a refund.
Oh
I did.
wow, that's
I did
crazy.
that.
I hated that.
I did that with the newer Mummy movie.
Oh man.
I heard that was bad.
I couldn't.
I
do
walked
it.
out. I was like,
But-
hey, you know what?
I'm
Give
sorry,
me my
dog.
money back.
Yeah,
So,
I'm sorry, dog.
Now I'm gonna
Can you
flip
do
flop
me
a little
favor?
bit. You know how bad this movie is and boring it is. That is why I like Thor: Love and Thunder a little bit more than this
Okay.
film because it is at least
It's
it is
not as
at
boring.
least fun.
Yeah, it's
there
not
is
as
at
boring.
least things going on in the movie that are entertaining.
That's true.
So, my,
Albeit stupid, but entertaining.
so for me, I actually didn't watch Dark World when
Quan is
He's like, so you're gonna keep going?
Quan, he's watching me flail trying to.
So I actually didn't watch the when it actually
Sorry.
came out. I actually watched
End
it after. I actually watched it after Endgame. So I
Oh,
never saw it. I never saw
You
it.
should have just not.
Didn't
So
spoil anything for you.
so what it did was it kind of had me curious because then I knew people were saying avoid it, but then they said, oh well, it does introduce this, it does introduce that. So I'm like, well, I want to see that. So that's what ultimately led me to watching it because it made those scenes with Thor when they were going back.
That's
make
what I'm
sense.
saying. It's got the through line for Thor's grief and Loki's path. I think that is the strongest points of this movie.
Right.
I do too. It was great.
I think Sonny's confusing not just saying every element of the movie was bad for saying the movie was good. I think that's what Sonny's confused about.
We start to trend back in the right
Forget a
direction.
nuanced opinion.
There's a little bit of course correction
I
now with
almost
these
cursed.
movies because the next movie that we're going to be talking about soon is Captain America: Winter Soldier.
That movie's
Goat.
yeah, that movie's really good.
Yeah, that's
Top three.
You
Yes.
said that you thought that the Captain America movies are probably the best set of films.
me as well. Yes.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I would think so, too.
I think other than the Avengers films, yes.
Yeah.
Safe to say for sure.
I think Age of Ultron is no better or worse than the first Avenger, but I think Winter Soldier and Civil War are about on par with
I mean, they're
Endgame.
almost Avengers films. Though, really.
Yeah,
There's
they
so
start
many
to
aspects.
become-
Civil
yeah.
War is
Civil
like
War is an
it's
Avengers movie.
Avengers 2.5.
Except it's not. It's called Captain America.
Because they just didn't name it in the title.
It's a prequel to Black Panther. It's a sequel to the Avengers. It's a sequel to Captain America.
Bro, it's a
Yeah. We see
Friggin'
Vision.
Avengers.
You're
movie,
introducing Spider-Man.
Come on,
it's,
come on.
it's it's all of those things.
What's it called? Can you remind me what it's called?
Which
Civil
one?
War.
Civil War?
Yeah.
Captain America?
Thank you.
But people refer to it as Civil War. They don't refer to it as Captain America.
You refer to it. You don't say Captain America Civil War. You're just talking about Civil War, man.
Yeah.
And they know what you're
Avengers,
talking
Civil
about.
War.
They're not. They know you're not talking about the North and the
You in the
South.
middle over here, player. I'm
called
over there usually.
If I called it the Avengers, you'd be confused, right?
No,
Well,
if
if we're talking about the North and the
no,
South
if
on
some-
here,
if
it would
some
make
random
sense.
person, if some random person was like, "Oh, Avengers Civil War," I'd be like, "I know that movie. I know what you're talking about."
Of course they would.
Yeah, man.
That's true.
Yeah.
Shane, did you like Winter Soldier? Did you like what were we talking about? The Paul Terry movie, Dark World. Did you like Dark World, or did you like Iron Man 3
Oh wow.
less? I thought I was gonna say more.
I know you didn't
less.
ask me, but Iron Man 3 is way better.
It so is. It really is.
Iron Man 3.
'Cause Iron Man 3 had
Iron
the
Man-
had the
listen,
letdown.
Yeah, Iron Man 3 is just mostly very annoying.
Didn't think you'd say that.
Like, it's super annoying.
Okay.
Okay.
Like,
This is annoying me.
pull your beard hair out, annoying.
I would never.
But Thor Dark World is just boring. Like, super boring.
Some
Like,
dry elements. Yeah, definitely.
but without a doubt, yeah, Iron Man 3, you're just going, dude, like,
I think-
please no.
very, very superficial, like surface.
all right. Here I
Yes.
go.
Go ahead.
The best
What's that?
parts
What you-
of Iron Man 3 are way better than Dark World. The worst parts of Iron Man 3 are way worse than Dark World.
Okay.
And I will die on that hill.
Oh, fuck.
But Shane is Sonny,
No,
is that the reason?
Mandarin, the Mandarin reveal is worse than anything in Dark World. And now I'm gonna shut up.
I find that hard to
Sonny,
believe.
do you think the fact that is it the reason why you're bored by these movies?
way.
Is that the reason you think that they're so poorly well received? Is it the plot? Is it that they're boring? Is it what do you think the factor is? A combination of the two?
I think it's a combination of the two, man. Because I mean, like you said, we've had bad movies, and at least they weren't boring. And we've had boring movies, and they're not always that bad.
The
This is-
original Thor wasn't great though.
no,
It's good.
I loved it.
at best.
I loved
It's
it.
it's good.
I loved it.
A lot
I
better
loved
than
the
this
first
one.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it represented who Thor is in the comic, though. I didn't think
Not
I
as
didn't
much.
like the way he did. I wanted him yelling and like
best
boasting.
thing I like out of
That's
all
what
of
kind of
them
what I wanted.
Is him smashing.
You got a
the
little bit of
beer
that.
and
A
little
asking
bit.
for
I
another
like
one.
this drink.
It was coffee.
My coffee,
Just
my
have another.
macchiato.
Yeah.
I'll
My
have another.
Cappuccino.
I wanted
That's my
him
favorite.
yelling and
I don't- it's
screaming,
not
"I
even
am
my favorite
Thor!"
part. I don't even know what he was. I don't even know what he was drinking. I was saying it was my favorite part. I don't even know what he was drinking.
This is kind of like Thor news. You saw they got the confirmation. Jason Aaron Thor Volume 2 is coming
Yes,
out.
yes.
The omnibus towards the
Yes.
end of the year. It's going to have the King
That's the
Thor
best Thor
miniseries, the War of the Realms whole storyline is going to be in there. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think it's like October,
Yeah.
but
You're in
So,
October.
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like
That was a good one.
I
Sonny.
feel like I'm in October. Guys, we're going to be going one
Is
by
it
one
Christmas
through
yet?
all of the MCU films. Not yet. It feels like Christmas when I'm with you. All of these,
thank you.
run it back
cute.
one by one. Oh, wink. So next week, Captain America, the Winter Soldier, will be our next installment. See, it's starting to trend back up.
Yeah,
we're going up.
all
We're going back up that hill.
Well, it was never
Now.
going to stay down for long with the MCU until we get to Phase 4.
What? Was
Yeah,
that?
because Phase 4 is like this. It's up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down.
I
Okay.
think that's generous.
I
it's
I
pretty
honestly
down.
think that's going to be a boring show for us because I have no complaints about Winter Soldier whatsoever.
Well, I'm excited to talk about the things I like.
Oh, we can talk about
I'm
it.
looking forward to see. I want to see Sonny say
Actually,
something
I'm just
positive.
going to say the opposite of whatever Sonny
No,
says.
seriously. No,
I'm
no.
excited. I'm
No,
excited
no, no.
to talk
I
about
love
it.
that.
Breaking down the fight scenes and everything, dude. That movie was amazing.
Guys, we will talk to you soon.
Yes.
Be on the lookout for lots of videos that we've got coming out in the next
Yes.
few days,
Shall
over
do.
this next week.
At least
We
4
do-
times a week.
We do
Yes.
appreciate you guys so much taking the time to check us out and
Yes.
hear
Thank
such
you.
positive reviews
Right.
about Thor: The Dark World. We really do love
movie was great, right?
this film.
I don't ever
The
remember
mighty
seeing that.
boar.
You guys have a great evening. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.